All right, so this is part 5 of me scaling my client Annette to 10K a month with her online coaching business. And before I start off this video, a lot has changed since the last one. I moved into my flat for my 3rd year of university. It's a pretty small room, but I got this room for the year to really just lock in and focus on scaling the business. Got some really nice views out the window, right here, and I'll show you the other one as well. Let me just show you over here as well, right? So, got the basketball court right outside. Pretty much it though. It's a very, very nice location. Don't have to travel too far to go to the gym, go to my lectures, everything like that. But yeah, essentially in this video, well, up till now, I should say, we've been focusing heavily on market research, right? Parts 1 through 4 have been very, very focused on market research, getting the right ICP, make sure we're targeting them properly. And, for you guys watching the videos that, may not know why I do such things or why I focus so much on market research, you might be thinking, oh wait, okay, why are you spending so much time on this stuff? Why is this spanned across 4 episodes, right? The reason for that is because market research is the foundation of everything. It's like if your body, if you think of a coaching business as a human body, oh damn, there's a squirrel. I got a bit distracted. But if you think of a coaching business like a human body, market research is like the blood, right? Market research is like the blood, because when it comes to market research, or the lifespan and the health of your coaching business, that depends very, very much on the quality of your blood, right? Just like in the human body, right? If you have bad quality blood, i.e. bad quality market research and bad understanding of your ideal client, you won't make that much money, right? But if you have a really good understanding of your market and the type of people that you're trying to get towards inside of your coaching program, then you're going to make so much more money, because you know exactly how they talk, what they like, what they dislike, what they've tried before, right? And all that stuff can be used within your marketing and your scripting, so that your ads, your videos, all that stuff hits so much harder. And it's indirect, but that will affect your entire coaching business, because it'll cost you less money to attract your ideal clients because you're speaking directly to them. And then subsequently, that will result in higher returns for your business, right? So market research is one of the most important parts of scaling any business, let alone a coaching business. So that's why I spent 4 episodes working on it. But from now, we're really starting to put the foot on the gas and, doing all the scripting for the videos, posting them, getting ads sorted. And this video, this episode in the series, is all about me summarizing everything that we've done so far, from us finishing market research up until us now, where we're pretty much ready to put the foot on the gas and really start getting some more leads inside of her profile to then book on calls and then close for her coaching business. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy. All right, so just gonna show you some of the updates that we've made since the last update that I gave on the channel. So right now I'm just in the Go High Level sub account for Annette, and I'm just going to walk you through some of the web pages that we have set up. Now notice how we don't have a bunch of different web pages set up. Literally just a call booking page, thank you page, onboarding page, privacy policy and terms and conditions. That's it. You don't need any more than that. If you're trying to get to, if you're doing anything less than like a couple $100,000 a month, you don't need anything more than this, right? You can obviously optimize these kind of pages to do certain things and get better metrics and stuff like that. But if you're doing less than 100K a month, there's no reason why you should have more than these pages. But yeah, just gonna get right into it. So this webpage is the webpage that someone will go to when they want to book in a call, right? So let's say we're in the DMs with someone, we pitch them getting on a call with Annette. They're like, okay, cool, we'll send them this webpage. They'll come into this webpage and I'll actually show you what it looks like. And it'll look like this, right? And this is like a short video explaining her unique mechanism.
Hey there, I'm Annette. I'm a registered nurse and the founder of ThriveNet.
So you get the whole idea, right? Headline, relevant to whatever you're doing. Short video explaining your unique mechanism. And then calendar booking page right here, privacy policy, terms of service right here as well. So yeah, that's basically it for that one. For the thank you page, I'll show you. So for the thank you page, short welcome video, right? Short welcome video, 30 seconds.
If you're watching this video, it means you booked a call with me to understand more.
You get the idea. And then it comes down, gives them instructions on stuff to do before the call, to make sure that it's confirmed properly. You know, getting clicking yes on the calendar confirmation email to make sure that there's a lower chance of them no showing, and then them watching a VSL around, you know, Annette's unique mechanism. And step number 3, looking out for additional videos that we send before the sales call, so they know what they would be getting into if they were to join the program. So yeah, that's the thank you page. And then this thank you page is essentially, it's a redirect from Calendly. So let's say, because on the first call booking page, right, obviously this code right here is the calendar booking thing, right? So let's say they book a call on that calendar that shows up, they get sent now to the thank you page after they book that call, right? And essentially this thank you page, I would say the thank you page is probably the most important web page in the entire funnel, simply because, in my opinion anyway, sales are made before the call in high ticket coaching, right? High ticket coaching, sales are made before the call, right? If someone comes onto a sales call not being educated on what you do and why you do it and how you do it before they speak to you, the chances of you closing that person is extremely slim. Long gone are the days where people are just hopping on sales calls with their credit cards out, looking to buy mentorships and programs because, you know, lifestyle marketing hit a massive boom during the pandemic, or even a little bit before that, right? Dropshipping days and YouTube automation, affiliate marketing and all that stuff, right? Long gone are those days. Now, buyers are a lot more sophisticated, right? They need a lot more time with someone before they buy, right? And that's not their fault. It's a survival mechanism at this point, to be honest with you. A lot of people have seen people they know, or even they've been scammed themselves in the past, and they don't want it to happen again. So it's a survival mechanism. Their brain is keeping them safe, right? So what we're doing here in the thank you page is we're basically priming them to think like a buyer, to think like someone that takes action. Obviously, that doesn't mean you can just waltz onto a call with someone and they're just ready to buy because they've watched a bunch of stuff and they've been through the thank you page. That's not what it is. What it is basically you giving them an opportunity to step into that frame. And even if they don't step into that frame straight away on the call, it's so much easier to get them into that frame because they've already watched or been through that pre-call process, right? That's what the thank you page is for. So the next page is an onboarding page. So the onboarding page is very simple. Like when someone joins the program, when someone pays, all right, XYZ, they get sent to the onboarding page, right? And I'll show you what it looks like live. Very simple. Welcome video. This also plays. Welcome video, and then there's dates for onboarding calls, right? Normally you would have a onboarding form above the onboarding call right up here. We just haven't sorted that out yet. We're gonna sort that very, very shortly, but yeah, we just haven't sorted that out yet. But normally you would have an onboarding form up here. I'll actually show you another client's onboarding page. So Anya's here. I'll show you an example of a fully finished one. As you can see, I have pretty much the same templates for, you know, each client, simply because they just work, right? The thank you page, the call booking page, those templates just work, right? So there's no need to change something that if it's already working, right? Thank you, welcome video, onboarding form, call booking thing, right? And then testimonials down here to reinforce the buying decision, right? So yeah, the only reason why we don't have like testimonials and stuff down here for Annette is because we don't really have any to work with. We do have one, but like just having one singular testimonial here, it does look a little bit sketchy. So it's best to have none than just have one singular, testimonial video. It would just be easier to kind of use that in your short form and long form content rather than just having it on your website. Sure, if you have 2, 3, 4, 5 plus testimonials, sure, whack them on your whack them on your website, on your landing pages, right? Whack them on your landing pages. To be fair, I would even say that, client interviews are the way to go when it comes to landing pages and putting stuff on there. You see Anya, she has client interviews here, YouTube client interviews. But yeah, that's the reason why Annette doesn't have any testimonials down here. But yeah, that's pretty much it when it comes to the onboarding page, the thank you page, everything like that. And yeah, obviously you gotta make sure that all looks good on mobile as well. And I've done that already, so yeah, that's pretty much it for the web pages. I can't go into the privacy policy and terms and conditions, but it's pretty much self-explanatory. Just privacy policy, terms and conditions that I put link at the bottom of the pages. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the web pages. So when it comes to the actual VSLs that Annette has made and stuff like that, they are made from here. Or I basically scripted all of her VSLs, and she went and filmed them. I edited them, and then she posted them to YouTube for me to use inside of her landing pages and during pre-call sequences, right? So sorry, I have a terrible cough right now. UK, yes, coming up to UK winter time. I don't know why, but I always get sick around winter time when that temperature drops. I rarely ever get sick, but when I do get sick, it's bad, it's terrible. But yeah, anyway, I basically script all of her VSLs, right? The pre-call videos. So this isn't actually a pre-call video here, but it's just a high-level demo video that goes into her link in bio, right? But here, the rest are pretty much pre-call videos. So unique mechanism VSL, program demo video, mini VSL, onboarding video, thank you video, and then some short form content scripts. So what is this, right? It says content pipeline, but what is the content pipeline and how do I use it with my clients? So the content pipeline is essentially a table that I make specifically for each one of my clients that basically allows them to systemize the whole content creation process. So let's say they have an idea for a video that they want to make, or they need me to script some VSLs, or they just prefer me scripting some of their short form content because it's just easier for them that way, without them having to go and do it themselves. Anytime anything to do with content that needs to be filmed, we use the content pipeline. So essentially, the idea comes up for the scripts, or the scripts that have been generated come here, click on new page, right, and then you just click on this, you come in, write the scripts. Okay, now once the script is written, right, you can move it to doing, and then once you move it to doing, you're basically saying, okay, I'm filming this now, right? Now once this is filmed, you then put it in done, because once it's filmed and edited, you just put it in done. We use backlog for posts that we want to use again, essentially, and reuse. We haven't really had the need to use this right now for Annette. So yeah, that's the content pipeline. The next thing I want to go over is the sales training. So this sales training is essentially what I give my clients to understand like how to sell high ticket coaching, because I feel like no one is born a salesperson. It's definitely a skill that's acquired. Obviously, some people are more natural salespeople than others, but for the most part, I think sales is very much a acquired skill, and I think it's something that a lot of coaches struggle with because what I find typically is the problem is they find it hard to switch between coaching mode and sales mode, because coaching mode doesn't close deals. Coaching mode makes you liked by the prospect, but it doesn't make them respect you, right? If that makes sense. You ultimately need people to respect you enough to actually not waste your time on a call and actually move forward and take action and not get in their own way when it comes to achieving their goals, right? So you don't want people to like you want them to respect you, and I think that's a big thing that a lot of coaches struggle with on sales calls. Demanding that respect, demanding that commitment, demanding them to actually care about their goals more than you care about their goals, right? right? Because you'll encounter that a lot of the time. It seems like you care about helping someone more than they care about helping themselves, and it's very frustrating. And without the proper training and exposure to the right, sales material, you'll not know how to navigate those situations, and not being able to navigate those situations will ultimately cost you a lot of money, in lost deals or deals that you could have closed. So yeah, I make it very important to send over sales training to all of my clients, make sure they understand, how the sales process works, so on and so forth. And yeah, this is kind of like, sales fundamentals here, sales rules, anatomy of a sales call, YouTube videos that have genuinely changed my life when it comes to, or changed my life in terms of the progress that I made as a salesperson. Because as a coach, you're not a salesperson first, right? So you naturally will look towards other people on the internet for help in getting better at sales. Now, the only problem is there are so many different people teaching high ticket sales, and quite honestly, a lot of the stuff is fluff. I'll be completely honest. I've been through a lot of different trainings and stuff like that around high ticket sales, and a lot of it is genuinely just fluff. Because the one thing that people don't realize, or people don't talk about enough in the high ticket sales space or high ticket coaching space, is sales is very much situational and is very personal to you. There are certain analogies, certain structures, certain word tracks that I've seen other people use, and I've tried them, right? Even though it works really well for those people, it worked terribly for me. Terribly, right? Did not resonate with the prospect, did not land in the right way. So the way that you sell is very much determined on your personality as a human being and the type of offer that you're selling. Whether people that buy those offers are typically more emotional, whether they're more logical, whether they're more pain driven, whether they're more goal driven, right? All of that matters. And I feel like, obviously, I don't think these sales coaches and stuff, they're doing it out of bad intentions, but I feel like they're not giving the full picture when it comes to how to actually sell high ticket, right? And yeah, it's something that I really struggled with for a long time, and I genuinely came to the conclusion that there are only a few ways that you can really, there are only a few like sales principles that you really need to master if you want to make, low to high six figures a year with your coaching business, maybe even seven figures, right? Depending on your offer. But yeah, there are sales videos that, I sent over. Orlando Santucci, you can see, is pretty much populating this whole thing. Shout out to the GOAT, honestly. Orlando Santucci is the GOAT of high ticket sales, and I will die on that hill. Well, at least for me anyway. Out of everyone that I've watched on YouTube and consumed their content, Orlando has actually made the biggest impact on my success when it comes to closing deals and so on and so forth. That said though, like I said, sales is very personal to the offer and the person you are. So Orlando might not even be the type of person that you need to learn from, right? He might not be it. That said though, that doesn't mean that you should not go out and look for your person to teach you how to sell. I learned through trial and error, and I feel like if you're trying this on your own, you're going to have to go through the same thing, right? If you go through mentorships, if you go through different roadmaps, if you commit to, a certain program, right, when it comes to getting better at sales, you're obviously not going to have as much trial and error. I always like to say you can either pay with time or you can pay with money, right? With money being an infinite resource, as in like they print money every single day, and you're more than likely it's gonna make money back, right, over time. And time being a finite resource, meaning that all the time that we spend on this earth, every second that goes by, we're never gonna get it back. I would much rather spend an infinite resource such as money to save on a finite resource such as time, right? Not everyone sees it that way, but at least I see it that way, and I'd much rather go then out and invest into my sales ability and my skill set than just do trial and error, right? But I did that. I did trial and error. Would I recommend it in terms of the actual time that I wasted and the amount of stress that I caused? Probably not. I wouldn't recommend it at all. But I did do it, and through trial and error, I found that Orlando was the best person for me, at least when it comes to sales, right? And then on top of that, I also give them access to live calls that I have personally closed, right, that I have personally closed. As you can see, I've closed 8K deals, 2.5K deals, 8K deal here, 5K deal here, 3K deal, 1.5K deal, 2K deal, 6K deal, 8K deal, right? And they have access to all this, right? To learn from, to analyze, dissect, right? And I just found it really, really helps, just not just knowing the theory, but also seeing it in action, right? Because it's not always just like exactly how that theory is gonna go. Okay, so yeah, that's that. The next thing is her DM framework. So obviously the main way that we book calls for our clients is through DM setting. And I'll go as far as to say that just like with the landing pages, only having a few of them, if you're doing less than like 100K a month or a couple 100K a month, you can do just fine with only doing DM setting, right? DM Instagram appointment setting. Don't fall into the trap of hiring a bunch of phone setters, hiring a bunch of SMS appointment setters. Those can help and those can work for sure. Like, they definitely can work. I've just found, in terms of the setup, the operational drag, the profit margins that it has on the business, like just having Instagram DM setting as your main source of appointments, it's just so much easier, and it's so much easier to manage, it's so much easier to train people on. It's just overall better. But yeah, so yeah, I've crafted her DM framework as well, and we're gonna get her appointment setter to come through and go through this, take her leads into appointments. Those appointments will then close, with Annette being on the sales calls. She's going to be the one closing herself, because, quick little tip, you're never going to have a higher close rate than if you are the one selling. You being the owner, the founder, the offer, the face of the offer, right? The head coach, if you will, right? You're never going to have a higher return on ad spend, close rate, whatever it is, compared to you, the founder, the owner, the head coach, being on these sales calls, right? And the reason for that is because if people are watching all this content around you being on these calls, it's going to greatly increase the chance of them closing. Not because they instantly just want to spend more money, it's because they trust the whole process more, right? They are more likely to open up in discovery. They're more likely to accept you doing reframes on them, because if it was just some random closer, right, which, not saying you shouldn't have closers at a certain level, but when you're doing less than 50 to 100K a month, me personally, I don't think there's any reason why you should have a sales closer, right? Unless you're that bad at sales, like extremely bad. But even then, I've had people never been on a sales call in their life come in and close deals, and it's happened multiple times before. It hasn't just happened once, right? But yeah, Annette would be the one closing the deals. Okay, so we're just using DM setting, and I have my own network of appointment setters, because typically with appointment setters, the main bottleneck that people fall down is not finding the right talent, right? They aren't able to find the right talent, and they end up just being stuck with appointment setters that don't know what they're doing, difficult to manage, expensive, so on and so forth, don't grow the business, etc., etc. So I actually have my own network of qualified appointment setters that have experience on high ticket offers and are willing to work on commission bases, that I can put into any offer that I have available that needs appointment setters. And typically when it comes to scaling the business from complete scratch to low to high six figures a year, we typically only bring 1 to 2 appointment setters in, depending on the lead flow. But typically, if it wasn't someone that we were doing the whole done for you service for, if it was someone that is maybe working on this on a consulting basis, we're just consulting their business, consulting them to grow their business rather than doing everything on their behalf, we would say that for sure you would need to manage the appointment setting yourself. The only exception, I would say, is if you have genuinely too much traffic coming in to where you can't manage it yourself, right? That's the only exception. If you can manage it yourself,
and you do have the hours for it, and trust me, you have more hours than you think, you should always try and do appointment setting yourself first before hiring appointment setters, because then once you understand the process, you know exactly how to book appointments for your offer specifically. You can just train someone on the exact process, right? You don't have to go ahead and go through this loop of trying to find good setters that work first time, right? The only reason why we place appointment setters into our clients' businesses off the rip is because we already have the proven systems and frameworks in place. We have the knowledge of training appointment setters. I literally had an appointment setter for one of my clients, Anya, come in, and they'd never done any sort of appointment setting before, by the way. They were just from my network. They were referred to me by another appointment setter that was doing quite well. And they came in, we trained them on our specific systems, XYZ, and within a week, they were outperforming the old appointment setter. They booked more appointments in 2 weeks than the old appointment setters booked in an entire month, right? And that just shows how powerful it is to have the right talent when you're trying to scale your business, right? And if you're a business owner watching this, which you probably are, you know this already, right? But for some reason, when it comes to coaching businesses, people just tend to forget. You know, coaching businesses tend to be passion projects for a lot of business owners, especially, and they don't treat it like an actual business, right? But yeah, so yeah, we built the whole DM process, so on and so forth. If you want to know more about the whole DM process and how that all works, I have a video about appointment setting, you know, and how it all works, all on my YouTube. You can just go to my YouTube channel, check it out, and there should be a video about appointment setting, going through the entire training on that. So yeah, that is a very good video, to be fair, but so you should check it out. So yeah, the next one is the sales script. So we crafted her sales script as well. Essentially, once someone jumps on a call with her, what is the script that she's going to be using to close them into a client, right? And this is exactly what this is, and we custom built it for Annette's offer, right? So yeah, that's not much else to kind of go over, to be honest with you. On this, very self-explanatory, and then this is also self-explanatory. This is a document called the sales pitch deck, or at least that's what I like to call it, and it's for calls where your prospects aren't necessarily like that educated on the whole program. This isn't something that happens that often, but sometimes it's more of like a nice to have than a must. Okay, I would say it's a must because when it'll save you a lot of deals that might have otherwise been lost by you not having this. So I definitely say it's a must, but in terms of the priorities, in terms of what needs to be done and what needs to be in place, it's definitely a little bit further down on the totem pole. So yeah, while it is very important to have, and I would recommend every single coach out there has some kind of sales pitch deck, and I'll show you what exactly it looks like. Very short, very like snappy, straight to the point, but very, very targeted to the ICP, right? Very snappy, can be delivered in like a few minutes, right? All the information is right there, and it gives it to them, and they have a better idea of what they're actually getting into, right? But like I said, you won't need to use this very often. It's just when the prospect isn't that, you get on a sales call, and even though you have the impression that they've watched the pre-call videos, you still feel like they aren't really that educated on what you do, and they don't really understand it, right? So yeah, typically, you can get away with it by just answering a few questions that they may ask, maybe like a few little questions. But if it's really bad and they genuinely don't understand, you can use the sales pitch deck. Obviously, prod further, try to handle the prospect accordingly before you ever pitch them, right? That's sales 101. Make sure that the prospect is actually bought into the idea of getting help before you pitch them, right? That's sales 101. But if you've done that and they still don't really get it 100%, you can whip this out and it'll do the trick, or it should do anyways, right? It does a lot of the time. So yeah, that's pretty much it in terms of the stuff that we've done. It might seem like it's nothing. It might seem like it's just plain stuff that could have been done very, very quickly. But the only reason why I'm kind of mentioning everything that we've done is because one of the main things that takes a very long time is filming the VSLs, right? A lot of this other stuff takes a very short amount of time to implement, but the VSLs actually take quite a while when it comes to the filming, the editing, XYZ. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I guess I could show you guys also some of the stuff with the ads and the appointment setting, but I think maybe it might be better to share that on the next episode of the series. But I feel like this is a good place to end it off, just showing where we've kind of gone up to at this point, and showing all the infrastructure and everything like that. And honestly, now all we need to do now is, because the follower ad that we're going to use, it's already been filmed, right? The ad that we're going to use to drive traffic to Annette's page has already been filmed. And I'm about to post it very, very soon for her, and then start running it as an ad. And then I've already trained up the appointment setter that we're going to place into Annette's business. So very, very ready to put the foot on the gas and start making some money for Annette, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed, and see you soon. So literally the day after we set up the final things in place for the landing pages and the appointment setting, we booked an appointment. We booked an appointment for Annette. Literally the day after. So yeah, I mean, I can put on the screen like the way that we were able to get the appointment booked, but essentially just to run you through what we did. Essentially, right, we have many chat automations and stuff like that. So the way that we kind of do the nurturing process for leads that come through Annette's profile is in her short form content, her reels, she asks people to comment a keyword, and then those people are sent over a YouTube video, and it basically explains the topic that she was talking about in her short form video on YouTube, right? And we push, basically the way that we're doing things is we're trying to funnel as many people to YouTube as possible, right? And Instagram allows us to do that because with Reels, you're getting shown to a broad audience. It's not that good at converting and nurturing people, so we just take that broad audience and funnel them to YouTube, right? And by the time when they watch the YouTube videos, they get a CTA or call to action to come back to Instagram and message, right? So by the time we have a conversation, they're already pre-warmed, pre-nurtured. And like it was basically that kind of automation. They got sent the link to the video and they got asked a question. They turned out to be the exact ICP Annette works with, or that she wants to work with, and that just shows like the power of good targeting, good messaging, right? Targeted messaging inside of your content. So yeah, this person, first ever sales call. I don't think Annette has ever been on a sales call in her life. Hopefully she closes. I don't see a reason why she wouldn't close. She does seem to be the exact ICP, and she does seem like she is willing to invest. The only reason why it hasn't showed up here is because in the Zapier automation, it goes off of data, right? And then since she hasn't actually booked any calls for that Canly event, since she hasn't booked any calls before, Zapier isn't going to be able to derive data, right? So since this is the first call, I'm now going to derive data from this book call, and then every other booked call, when we get a notification for it in Discord, it'll have the actual data because it derived I don't know how else to explain it. It sounds really complicated, but it's actually a lot more simple. Maybe it's just simple in my head, but yeah. Essentially, they're willing to invest. They're the exact ICP, right? So this just shows, the messaging is actually working. The system's actually getting people involved, and I'm very confident that she'll close this prospect. Her program, her offer is 3,000 Australian dollars for 90 days worth of coaching. So yeah, I mean, she only, and by the way, Annette's goal is to make 10,000 Australian dollars a month, and she only needs to sell a couple of these, 3-4 of these a month in order to hit that goal, right? And I think that's definitely possible. So yeah, we haven't even started running ads yet, by the way. I'm already booking calls. I haven't even, and to be honest with you, we haven't even had the appointment setter. We haven't even had the appointment setter placed yet. They're going to be placed tomorrow, but we had that inquiry come in, that comment come in, and I was just like, yeah, let me just hop in the DMs and book them on an appointment, right? So yeah, I mean, I walk the walk as well as talking the talk. I know how to do pretty much every single operational activity that I tell my clients to do. It's just where's the leverage in my time? I'm not going to be able to serve a bunch of people if I'm doing every single thing for my clients. But yeah, that's pretty much it, to be honest with you. Like, very, very happy that this person's come in and booked a call. It'll be a good way for us, even if they don't close, it'll be a good thing for us because we'll have data, right, on our exact ICP, based on that sales call, that we can use to make the content better, marketing better, everything like that. So yeah, very, very happy so far, and I just know we're gonna be scaling our offer to that 10k a month mark very, very soon. Now, the last thing that I wanted to go over was how the ads are going, because like I said, we started to run ads and everything like that. And just as a spoiler before I get right into it, I'm blown away, genuinely. Like, these are some of the craziest metrics I've ever seen when it comes to an ecosystem ad campaign. And by the way, the ad spend on this campaign is $10 Australian, okay? But let me just show you, $10 Australian every day, okay? Spend a little bit more this day because the day before it spent even less, like $1.65 Australian, but let me just show you these metrics, okay? So we've been currently running ads for 2 days from the 12th, and yeah, I mean, I've been tracking since the 12th, right? And on the 12th of October, we spent $1.65 and we got 13 followers from that. Now, if you don't understand how insane that is, right? The cost per lead is 13 cents AUD. That's an AUD. Translate that to, or convert that to USD. That's less than a cent. Less than a cent per lead. I've never seen that in my life, genuinely, right? Same thing here. $14.38 Australian brought back 60 followers. 24 cents Australian per lead. I've never seen this level of... genuinely, I'm lost for words. I don't even know how... Obviously, I know how, right? Because the marketing and the messaging have actually been, really good. It's just a testament to show how good the messaging has been. But only time will tell, right? Because while we are getting a lot of leads compared to the ad spend, we also need to make sure that these leads are qualified. Now, if they're qualified, then it's cash money, honestly. It's insane. But if not, then we obviously need to change things up. And those things obviously increase the cost per follower, or the cost, it takes to acquire a lead, right? So yeah, for anyone that doesn't know, the way that I set up client acquisition systems for my clients, the main thing is getting traffic to social media pages, getting that traffic to follow the page. Once they follow, there's an appointment setter that reaches out to them, starts a conversation. That conversation leads to a book call, and then that book call, in between them booking the call and them hopping on the sales call, they get pre-call nurturing videos, VSLs if you will, and then that leads to them hopping on the sales call and then hopefully being closed as a client. Okay, that's the client acquisition process. In like simplified terms, obviously there's a lot more that goes in behind the scenes, but that's like the gist of it. And basically, anyone that follows the page or likes the page or engages with the page is essentially a lead, right? It's a lead. And especially from leads that come from ads, right? Because with the ads that we script them specifically to target the exact ICP of our clients. And so the people that are following from ads, and I'll put on the screen like a screen recording of Annette's like notifications part on Instagram, showing all the people that are following from the ad. Most of the people following are coming from the ad, right? Before people start saying, oh, it wasn't from the ad, XYZ. It was from the ad. Like I'm going to show you right there. So yeah, most of these people are coming from the ad. So my first impression is they're all qualified, or most are qualified, right? But only time will tell, right? But for right now, I'm super excited to see what's going to happen with this campaign. I'm really, really confident with how it's going to go, and yeah, I think we'll catch up soon in terms of the progress and how everything's going. All right.